Welcome back to another episode of the Walking Towards Life podcast. I'm your one and only host, Walker Williams, and this is a place where you can learn, you can grow your consciousness, and you can be your best self. Now, this is a long-awaited podcast. I don't know for y'all, but I would say definitely for me. And I've been holding out on this one because I want to make sure I had my sword sharpened. I had to make sure I was in the gym. You know what I'm saying? I was putting the reps in. So when I speak on this, I'm speaking from the heart. I'm speaking from a place of wisdom. So today we are talking about astrology. one of my favorite subjects in the umbrella of spirituality, okay? And I'm not even gonna say one of my favorites. Really, it's a juggle between top one, top two. But I definitely felt like it was necessary for me to talk about this subject because of how much growth you can have from really understanding what astrology is, what astrology means, how astrology can affect your life by understanding it and by applying it and integrating it into your life. Okay, so the first thing I want to discuss on this podcast is what is astrology? And I'm doing this, it might be beginners, it might be non-believers, tweeter and deleters, okay? It might be, so I want to explain what astrology is. There's a lot of misconceptions of astrology. There's a lot of people who don't believe that astrology is a real thing or that it's just all just woo-woo, right? But astrology is a very, very spiritual tool that you can use for your life, okay? Astrology is a cosmic map explaining your destiny, your past life karmas, your destiny, okay? Helping you with your destiny, knowing what your soul purpose is. And it's a guide to help you understand yourself more and build a better relationship with experiences and the things that you go through, the suffering that you go through, the high moments that you go through, the low moments, the relationships, the all the different things that you will go through in a lifetime, right? Because once you enter this life, okay, wherever the constellations is, wherever the stars is placed at that time that you was born, okay, these things are the energy that guides your life, I would say. I was about to say direct your life, but guides your life, okay? That's why it's important to know your birth time to really get your birth chart and get down to the nitty gritty, because at the moment that you was born, there's a set of stars that's going on above you in a different position, different place, in a different constellation. All of these things will be able to help you understand what energy that will be expressed in this lifetime for you, okay? And people want to know why where the planets be, why could the planets be at this space or at this spot at this time, determine how I feel on the inside or determine my life journey, okay? You have to think about this. If you understood how big these fucking planets are, let's be real. I think sometimes we on Earth and we forget the size and scale of these planets that are around us, okay? So the energy is very massive. It is permeating through the solar system and the ether. Every day we are affected by the sun. Every single day, whether it's giving us life, actually. We also have to thank the sun, okay? Let's thank the sun because the sun gives us life, okay? It gives us the light that we need. It gives us the energy that we need to be able to, the vital energy, I would say, to live a healthy life, okay? Without the sun, your ass would be dead, okay? But see, the energy from the sun is affecting us. The energy from the moon affects the tides in the ocean, people. This is a real thing. You can look it up, all right? The moon is affecting the ocean. And you know how big the fucking ocean is? And you see the waves and the tides of the ocean? Yes. that is caused by the moon. So we are being affected every single day by these celestial beings. I mean, well, celestial beings, you could say beings, but celestial entities every single day. Every time somebody's born, every event, everything is being affected by what's going on around us. That's why if you hear of retrogrades, right? Retrogrades, or Mercury retrograde, or Saturn retrograde, these are when the planets are closer to our planet. Okay, so therefore the effects will be stronger to feel the energy that these planets are giving off. Now, you might ask, why? How could these planets give off different energies? Okay, I understand that energy is a thing that's coming from these planets, but why does these planets determine a different energy or a different feeling or emotion based on where they're located, right? So over the years, these astrologers and mystics studied the effects of our society, of human society, when these planets was close to our planet, and what reaction that they said. Like, this is long, I'm talking about over eons and eons of records of what would happen when these planets are close. So over time, they not only became just, written down facts, they became archetypes of each planet. Like, just say, as an example, Mars, right? Mars has an aggressive type of energy, an assertive type of energy, conflict type of energy, right? So every time Mars was close to the Earth, there was documented more wars, okay, more fights, more friction energy on the planet, right? So it's like, even with the moon, if the moon is very close, and that studying of the energy of the moon, of the emotional ties of people and how that affects people, right? So this is just by being documented over thousands of years of what energy these planets and these celestial entities are giving to our planet when they're close to us. Okay, so these are where the archetypes came from, of just the different definition of each planet. Now, remember that each planet has a different meaning, and we will get into that further in the podcast. So now I can get into why astrology connected with me so much, right? And I feel like I gravitate to astrology because I am a person who wants to know the inner reasonings of things. Okay, why did this person act this way? What made this person do this? Why are their energies so aggressive? Why is, like, once I discovered, everybody started off with basic sun sign and stuff like that. So I think my journey started off in just learning sun signs. I'm like, oh, it's the basic things, right? But I just became fascinated at the accuracy of this, understanding. I'm a very research guy. We're going to get into the reason why I am this way, okay? I'm going to touch a little bit on my chart just to help y'all with examples. But everything that I am and what I'm doing now is right in my chart. It's inescapable. It's there. So, like, I'm a deep researcher. So once I get fascinated on something, I want to know every single pocket of that one thing, right? And astrology was one of them things, and it resonated with me to the core, once I start understanding my chart. And I started off with tropical astrology, learning tropical astrology, learning birth charts, okay, what it means to know your natal chart. And I just fell in love with it. I just fell in love with understanding the core of people, understanding the why, the reasonings, the how, of why they react to certain things, or how they express this certain energy. All of these things became very, very interesting to me, and it became a passion, a love, just because I feel like the more I understood astrology, the more I connected and understand why people did the things that they did, or the way that they did. I had a better understanding of not only just myself, because I started with myself, of course, but just the people around me. And I was like, oh, I get it. I understand it now. So And that's just how I am, and I feel, and just like I said earlier, this is the reason why I'm in this position that I am now, okay? Because I just be wanting to learn, grow, right? So, and just information just continually the more you research, the more you find more information about what you're looking for. So it's just that one saying, whatever you're looking for is looking for you too. This is what's been going on for the last probably 10 years of my life. So now let's get into the meat of this today's podcast. Now we about to get into some real shit. Now I'm gonna give you a disclaimer. Come into this section with a open mind. This disclaimer: if you don't have an open mind, get gone. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Okay, you can stay around if you want to. If you feel like you don't have an open mind, you can stick around. Maybe your mind will open the more that we talk about it. So please stay around. But now I started off as a tropical astrology lover. Okay, wanting to know about tropical astrology. I learned my birth chart in tropical astrology. I was learning other people's birth charts in tropical astrology. So in 2020, during COVID, right? This is the time where you had a lot of time to reflect and learn new things. So I used to be at the house and I used to just dive endlessly into YouTube and learning more knowledge and learning more spiritual, spiritual wisdom, right? Spiritual knowledge. And I came across this video and it popped up. I spoke on this on the first guest podcast that I had with Indigo. And I put it on the screen. I remember that. But he popped up on the screen. His name is Simon Chokosky. I hope I pronounced your last name right. But big shout outs to you because you changed literally the whole way I saw astrology. No lie. Okay, now I'm very open-minded. So when I seen this, I'm like, decoding Vedic Astrology 101. What is this? I seen that the chart was different. I'm like, oh, this seems like some interesting shit. All right. I watched the full video. Then I just he broke it down so perfectly. And so actually, I just hope I'll be able to learn from him more. Actually, I need to take a class with him, something like that. But I fell in love with Vedic astrology ever since that moment I watched that video because he broke it down with so much perfection and understanding, right? To where after that, I just fell in love, right? So I instantly just wanted to know more about Vedic astrology. Of course, it's in my DNA. I want to know more, okay? Vedic astrology, what is this? Learning my birth chart. But I'm going to tell you the difference between, before I get into my birth chart and stuff like that, but the difference between Western and Vedic, well, I'm going to say this. The difference between tropical, a.k.a. Western astrology, and Vedic, a.k.a. Eastern astrology, it is Western based their predictions, based their signs and placements, and it's based off the spring equinox and the Earth's seasons, right? And it starts from a point in the sky. So Vedic is literally based their shit off of whole signs. So basically where the constellations and stars exactly are in the sky. There's no equinoxes. There's no seasons based on this. This is exactly where the stars and the constellations are in the sky. That's it. Okay, so it's just pure whole sign. There's not other things that can go into effect here. And I want to say that these systems were on the same path at one point in time, right? But due to the precession of the equinox, every 72 years that they went away, they spread it apart 1 degree. Every 72 years, they spread it apart. So that leads to now that the dates between Vedic and Western are different. Okay, just because of the separation between the two systems. Okay, they was once on the same accord, but now they're 23 degrees apart now. Okay, so therefore, the signs are different. And this is why I said, you have to have an open mind here. If one thing you can promise me, okay, just promise me that you can listen to this with the open mind. And I might have to hold your hand here. Okay? Because I want to say this. Astrologers deem Vedic is more accurate because of the meaning of, just because of what I told you. Actually, astrologers let me say that right. Astrologers feel like Vedic is more accurate because it's directly what's in the sky. It's nothing else, right? So the predictions be more accurate when it comes to Vedic. Okay, so this is why I have to hold your hand, because majority of the time there's a possibility, like myself, I am a Leo sun in both systems, right? That's because my birthday falls under still in the dates of Leo and Vedic, Leo and tropical, right? But most of the time, for the people who are born, and I'm gonna put the chart like right here for you, of the dates, the dates of each sign in Vedic, right? So if you was born, like, I would say, like, from July, I think the sign changes every 14th, 15th, 16th of the month. It's between those 3 dates, right? It don't change like in Western. The dates change like on the 22nd, 23rd, around that part of the date, right? But in Vedic, it changed like kind of right in the middle of the month, right? So if you was born earlier in the month, you're probably the sign before the sign that you are in Western. Okay, this is why I say I'm gonna hold your hand. So let me give you an example. So if you was born, so let's say your birthday was, I don't know, March 5th, right? So in Western, you'll still be, you'll be considered a Pisces, right? You'll be considered a Pisces. Or am I? Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Okay. You'll be considered a Pisces. But in Vedic, you'll be still considered an Aquarius. Okay? Because Pisces wouldn't turn into Aquarius wouldn't turn into Pisces until probably around March 13th through 15th, around that area. Okay, so if you're born early in that month, most likely you're the sign before the sign that you are in Western. Okay, and that's why I said I'm gonna hold your hand, because one of the things that I've realized, okay, when I tell people this, and now I'm not debunking Western astrology here. Let me make that clear. I'm not debunking it, because what I realized that you can find truth in both systems. It's just how you're looking at it. Western is more of a personality, the way you can look at on the surface of things. But if you want to know your soul purpose, if you want to know your karma, if you want to know the destiny, the depth behind why you're here, you'll look at your Vedic. Me personally, I just gravitated towards Vedic in general because I just feel more connected to my Vedic chart than my Western chart. Okay, but to each his own. I'm telling you, I'm holding your hand here. So if you was born, let me give you another example. Okay, so let's just say if your birthday is August 8th, you're a Cancer in Vedic astrology. Okay, because it hasn't switched. It hasn't switched from Cancer to Leo. Okay, and Leo probably switches 14. I'm gonna put the exact dates because it changes each month of what date it changed. So I might. That's why I'm just giving a scale of when it could change. That's why I'm a Leo in both systems, because my birthday falls in that early. Once it switches, it's right in that area when it switches. Okay, so it's still in both. My birthday, it still falls between both of the dates. So I'm a Leo in both, right? So that's why I say I have to hold your hand, because one thing I realized in the astrology community, spiritual community, there's cognitive dissonance still there, It's just like, and I understand, and that's why I said I hold your hand, because the thought of your sun being different once you created your whole life, right? You create your whole life with this identity as I am a Aquarius sun, right? I'm an Aquarius. Go Aquarius. Aquarius rules, right? And once somebody tell you some new information saying like, hey, you might not be an Aquarius. Okay, like Vedic says that you're a Capricorn sun instead of Aquarius sun. They be like, what? Go on somewhere. I ain't listening to you, bro. What the hell you talking about? I ain't no Aquarius. I got Aquarius traits. What you talking about? You telling me I'm a Capricorn? You telling me that I'm like my ex-boyfriend was a Capricorn, or my sister was a Capricorn? I ain't no Capricorn. You know what I'm saying? Like, you instantly go into your past relationships. Like, if I was to tell my homie, like, nah, like going with a girl that he used to deal with, like, you telling me I'm a Virgo? I ain't no damn Virgo, bro. You tripping, right? See, that's why I said I have to hold your hand here, because it's a hard paradigm shift. But there's reasons, right? There's reasons for this. And I feel like the reason why I gravitate to my Vedic chart, because I just felt the energy resonated with me more than my tropical chart. Like, me being a Gemini Venus, Gemini Mars, it felt different than me being a Venus Cancer and a Venus Mars in tropical. I felt more connected to Gemini, right? And I'm saying that because of I love to talk. I have a podcast, people. Like, I understood myself. Like, I am a yapper for real. Like, I'm a real deal yapper. Like, I love to talk. I love to have conversation. I love to have stimulation when it comes to, especially mental stimulation, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to friendships. Mental stimulation is a very important aspect that I would look for, even when it comes to dating. If you can fill my mind with mental stimulation with conversation, like, you will get a lot of brownie points, right? And if you can't hold a conversation, then it's like I don't know if this gonna work. If you cannot hold a conversation, I'm telling you, it ain't gonna look good. It ain't looking good. And I actually gravitated to my moon sign more than my tropical moon sign as well, because these things changed. But I'm telling y'all this, you have to understand the energy of each sign. Okay? This is how you're going to be able to tell what you can really resonate or what you can't resonate with. But you have to literally sit and understand each and every sign, for you can actually understand what energies you're actually going off on. And this actually is very spiritual, because you have to really understand yourself first, though. Like, even if it's taking meditation, even if it's taking mindfulness, to really sit back and understand what energies you actually are giving off, because we know for a fact that people can go their whole lives and not knowing what they're doing, knowing what type of energy they're putting out to the world. So I would say first start there. You have to understand yourself. The more you understand yourself, then you understand the energies of each sign. You understand the energies of each planet. We're going to get into that. And I think it would be easier for people, because it was easy for me to drop my Libra moon, right? And I'm going to tell you too, another thing which is interesting about these two systems is you'll realize, and that's why I said there's truth in both systems. It's just what resonates more, right? So, like I said, I'm a double Cancer in Western astrology, but I'm a double Gemini in Vedic. You see, it's still a double sign. It just switched between water and air. And like I said, the same lineup is there. And even, it's so crazy that even with my house placements, we're going to get into that too next. But my houses still have the same, like, I would say, what word I want to say right here? It has the same, like, it still kind of got the same house placements, but still in just different planets. Like, different planets are in the same houses that will be in my Vedic. And I'm gonna have to explain that too, because that might be too advanced. But like, I would say this about my chart, and for the people who understand, in my tropical chart, I have a Virgo moon in the 8th house, right? But in Vedic, I have my sun in the 8th house instead of my Mercury being in the 8th house, right? And my moon is in the 9th house in Vedic. So, and if the real astrologers who's watching are going to understand the meaning of that, of why I'm even doing this right now. But we're going to get into that too. And I also want to say too that Vedic, it has so many layers to Vedic, right? To understand yourself, to understand your marriage life, to understand your life when you get older. There's so many charts in Vedic astrology, right? So it's so nuanced and so complex that there is deep dives in Vedic astrology that you can go and look at different aspects to understand yourself more. And even with the moon, right? You know, I said Vedic, their base, there's the main point of Vedic is the moon. Okay? That is the most important placement is your moon in Vedic astrology, right? Where Western bases their most important off the sun sign. But in Vedic, it's based off more on the moon because, I mean, if you think about it, the moon sign is your emotions. It's of how you react to certain things or how you feel on the inside. So they deem that as the most important planet is your moon. Now, even this, and I'm not going to go too super deep into this because this is advanced astrology, but they have a nakshatra system, right? There's a 27 division, circle division in the sky, right? So not only, that's why I said it's so many layers. Not only would you know your moon sign, but you can go deep into what your nakshatra is, right? So that's your birth star, which that has meaning. Okay, I'm a Shitra Nakshatra in my moon placement, right? So that's even more layered. And it's even more layered than that, but that's advanced astrology. All my advanced astrologers out there gonna know what I'm talking about with this one. But yeah, so it's like, to simplify, Western, you can still use Western, y'all. I'm not debunking Western astrology, but Vedic was and is the original astrology, okay? Western came along after, but Eastern was there before Western, okay? So, and it's every astrologer out there deem it as more accurate for predictions, to understand your karma, your destiny, okay? So be able to predict more actually current events that's going on in this world. So just take that as a grain of salt. We're going to explain more of this, because now we're going to really go more into Vedic astrology, but just still astrology in itself. So now, I definitely don't want to forget about this part, because this is a misconception in astrology. Now I recently just posted introduced myself as my big six on TikTok. It went crazy, right? It was actually so fun seeing all the astrologers pop out, seeing the comments, basically reading my birth chart and basically, feeling like they knew who I was. It was fun just seeing all of the comments and the judgments, because they were judging hard, man. I'm gonna be real. They were judging your boy. But it's cool. I understand the game, and that's why I want to talk about this, because this is an important factor as well with astrology. Okay, we have to stop trauma projecting onto other people based off the bad experiences that you had with a certain sign. Okay, I have to say it. If no one's gonna say it, I'm gonna say it. We have to stop doing that. This is one of my pet peeves when it comes to astrology, okay? Because a lot of people, I would say, they dictate their definitions or their feelings about a sign based off a bad experience with that said sign, whether it was with your mother that you didn't have a great relationship, or your dad who is angry, have anger issues or whatever, or best friends, ex relationships, your ex girlfriend or whatever, like this is a known thing. I mean, shit, this was happening to me in the comments. Everybody felt like I was just a fuck nigga. Like, I'm like, damn, this is what we on? Like, people already canceling me out before they even actually know me. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to stop doing that, because every single entity that you come across in this life has a set of different qualities about them. They have a whole different cosmic makeup to their life. Okay? They could be the same sun, but it's way more different than just the sun. It's way deeper than just the sun. You have to start analyzing the moon. You have to start understanding the Mercury, Venus, Mars, Saturn, Jupiter, okay? Rahu, Ketu. This is the same in Western, which is the South Node, North Node, okay? Rahu and Ketu, South Node, North Node are the same in each systems, right? You have to understand these aspects. Every person that you come across is not going to be the same person. So you cannot put that energy on somebody you don't even know. Okay, now there are like qualities of that same sign with everybody, whoever has that sign. If we are speaking Vedic, because if we think in Western terms, a lot of times the way my lens is Vedic astrology. You might not even be talking about the same sign here. You might have this negative connotation about Sagittarius, when meanwhile she or he might have been a Scorpio. Okay? That's what I'm saying. It's deeper than just the surface. It's deeper than just the sun sign, okay? Their moon is an important factor to understand. And I feel like for compatibility, for relationship compatibility, there's factors to look at when it comes to dating somebody. Okay? If you're with your partner, if you want to, see where y'all are, where there's compatibility and friction, understand y'all the high areas and the low areas in y'all chart, whether it's moon compatibility, Venus compatibility, Mars compatibility. Those are the three most important aspects when it comes to compatibility. Okay, we will get more into that too, but the misconception that we gotta stop basing our definition on signs based off the experiences that you have with certain people. We can't do that, and it's not fair for other people, for new people. Okay, I just had to state that. Okay, so now we about to dig into some basics. Okay, some basics of the energy of each planet, if you're not familiar with this already. Okay, we touching for the beginners if you don't know what this is. Okay, so the sun, your sun sign, it's not your only sign. I'm making that clear on this podcast. Your sun is your soul's purpose. Okay, this is the personality of you, the core. Okay, the core of yourself. That is your soul. This is what you when somebody in their pocket, that's they sun sign showing. Okay, with whatever it is, whatever you're doing. Okay, that's the energy that's being expressed. Okay, then you have the moon, which I stated is your emotions. Okay, your emotions on the inside, how you react to things. Okay, how you deal with experiences that come upon you. Okay, this is the most important. That is one of the most important planets to know. Okay, what is your moon sign? Because it's how you feeling on the inside. Your sun is your outer core, your personality, your soul's purpose. Okay, then you have your Mercury. Mercury is how you speak, how you communicate. Okay, Mercury is the planet of communication. So remember that. The moon is the planet of emotions. Sun is the planet of your soul, your core. Okay, remember that. Now, Venus is the planet of love, beauty, harmony. Okay, this is why I said if you want to look at compatibility, you have to look at your partner's Venus sign. This is very important to look at, because that is the planet of love. Like I said, beauty, pleasure. Okay, Then you have Mars. Mars is the planet of, I would say, it's the action planet. So if you have a sign in Mars, whatever sign it is, it is basically of how that sign is going to move when it comes to being assertive, when it comes to taking action, when it comes to of how you move sexually as well. This is a sexual planet as well, to know, especially in compatibility, of how compatible will y'all be when it comes in terms of sex, right? Then we can talk about Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet. This is a great planet. It's about expansion, fortune. It's a very positive planet. So definitely be aware of that. Saturn is now if you have Saturn is definitely a planet to take note of, and where it places in the house, right? Because it's the house of like delays. It's a house of long-term growth, right? It's really a lot of growth happening on the planet of Saturn, okay, that energy expresses. Therefore, it's like long delays, or I have a lot of Saturn. I have Saturn, a strong Saturn in my chart, so it makes a lot of sense. Also, this is advanced part of astrology, but I brought up the Rahu K2 North Node, South Node, okay, in Western, and then Rahu K2 is in Eastern, which K2 is basically your past life. Okay, so wherever K2 is placed in your house, in the houses, it's like a showing of what life that you lived in your past life. Okay, and your Rahu is basically, I think your Rahu is the North Node in Western. Mind y'all, I haven't been studying Western, so if I got that wrong, please, spare me. I think your South Node is like K2. South Node is past life, but your Rahu is what you're here to do in this life, okay? What duties do you have to live out in this life? Which my Rahu is in my 9th house, which we will get into houses next, okay? Which is a big factor of what I'm doing too right now. That's what I said. It's literally a snapshot of my reality, okay? Those are the important planets for sure, to understand the energy of all of those planets. Are we forgetting any planets? All the other planets, they have energy, but they're not the strongest. If I'm not forgetting any. Oh shit! Your rising sign. Shit, your ascendant sign. I almost forgot about that, y'all. I'm bullshitting. That's your big 3 is important. I almost forgot the rising sign. But yeah, your rising sign is how people, your people first impression of you, okay? When they see you or what they think of you, that's the energy that your rising give off. Like, I would say your rising is being expressed, like, just say you walk into a room, okay, of an event. These are the energy that people pick up from you when you walk in and they don't know you, okay? These are the energies that you perceive. That's why I'm a Capricorn rising. I might look, even like you can look at my pictures, y'all. If y'all want an example, look at my Instagram. I look very serious. Okay, it's a very serious look, and people often confuse me as a earth sign because I give a very serious energy off, right? Because I do have a Virgo moon and I have Capricorn rising in Vedic astrology, so you feel that earth sign very. Damn, the sun going away, man. The sun going away. No, man, come back, son. We just getting started. Damn. Okay, anyways, but you feel that earth grounded energy there. But once you get to know somebody, that's when their rising be removed and you start to understand the core of that person. I'm a big golden retriever, fun. Oh shit, the lighting is changing for real. We might have to tweak this. But yeah, so once you get to know somebody, you will understand the core of them, right? Like I said, I'm a big golden. The sun coming back out. See, I was bullshitting, but I'm big golden retriever, goofy, fun loving type of guy. But sometime on the exterior, some people might think I look serious or I look like very responsible. That's the energy. Okay. So those are the energies of each planet, y'all. So now every sign, and I feel like this is the important, because there's a fixed list of these signs. Okay, and I know these by heart. Okay, follow along with me. Aries is number 1. Taurus is number 2. Gemini is number 3. Cancer is number 4. Leo is 5. Virgo is 6. Remember these numbers. 7 is Libra. 8 is Scorpio. 9 is Sagittarius. 10 is Capricorn. 11 is Aquarius. 12 is Pisces. Okay, where we at? 45 minutes. Yeah, this might be a little lengthy one right here. Okay, so remember that list and the numbers. These numbers are fixed, so therefore they don't change. The orders of these signs do not change. Remember that. So now we can go into the energy of each sign real quick. We ain't trying to have this too long, but I just want to give y'all something we planting seeds here. Okay, we're planting seeds. So starting with Aries. Aries is a fire sign. So Aries is very bold, I would say very like, you want to talk about bold, very action taking. And Mars is the ruler of Aries as well. So that general energy, that push, the one that's on the field, that's making the moves, that's being assertive, that's Aries. That's Aries all the way to the T, okay? Aries is going to get shit done. And they're going to do it boldly and very fiery, okay? And then we got Taurus. Taurus is like the reliable sign, okay? It's the reliable sign. It's the Taurus always have a richness when it comes with food. They love pleasure, okay? They love pleasure, and that could be food. That could be luxury. That could be beauty and things, right? Gemini. Don't we love Geminis? There's a lot of hater Geminis out there in this world, but let's talk about the positive. Now, there's negatives to each sign. Now, Gemini is, which I have a lot of energy of, is very communicative. I was about to butcher that word. Communicative, okay? So Gemini is going to talk your ears off. And they're very, I would say, Geminis are very, I would say, dynamic, right? And Geminis are inconsistent. I'm going to say that. Now, that's a con of Geminis. They are inconsistent. It's speaking from myself, which mine comes from like sticking to one thing. When it comes to like working or whatever, I can switch up quick. That's where the cons come with Gemini. They can be very inconsistent. Okay, they might switch up on you. But you have to understand that, for you can not do that with important things, okay? With people as well. It's very important to understand that side of Gemini. But Gemini positive traits are, they're very like what's the word? Like lively. Like I bond well with Gemini. I know I got a lot of Gemini in my chart, but Gemini sun's like very goofy, very like fun to be around. Gemini's a good time, man. Then we have Cancer. Cancer is the nurturer. Okay, it's the what's the sign of Cancer? It's the crab. Okay, Cancer is the crab. Okay, is the mother. It signifies the mother, the nurturing type of vibe. Like if you have a Cancer in your life, you have a Cancer woman in your life, my boy, she gonna make sure you good. She gonna make sure you taken care of. Okay, because they have that nurturing type of energy. That's the Cancer, but Cancers can be moody. That's the thing. Water signs now. Water signs have a moodiness trait. Now they go through different moods. Okay, but Cancer is the positive side of Cancer is beautiful. Well, every sign has a beautiful side to it, people. Okay, I'm gonna say what's next? 4 or 5. Leo, that's your boy. That's me. Now Leos are known to be charismatic. Okay, known to be the center of attention. Yeah, Leos love to have a lot of attention. Okay, but charismatic, very loyal, very fun as well, and friendly. Okay, you'll always see Leo smiling. That's the one thing, you're always gonna see Leo smiling. Like Leos be having a good time. They have their negative signs as well too. With sometimes I feel like the center of attention can go too far if you're not being aware of, like, or you're always, because Leo is a sign of like, it's about me. It's like the sun, right? Leo, the sun is the ruler of Leo. So if you think about the sun, the planets are all orbiting around the sun. So that's kind of like the energy that Leo has. It's like it's about me and everything. The world revolves around me. So you have to, as a Leo, me personally, to other Leos out there in the world, be aware of that. Okay, be aware of your Leo energy. Make sure that you're not being too much into yourself. Make sure you're not being too cocky, too conceited of yourself, and to where it's ruining relationships. Okay, you have to be aware of these things. It's how you heal the Leo, because Leos can turn to be crazy motherfuckers. Be real. This is why Leo gets a lot of hate as well, but there's has to be an understanding of your energy, for you won't affect people in the wrong way. Yes, be a Leo, have fun, get your attention off. You know what I'm saying? Be the center of the crowd, but also let other people get that attention as well. It's not all about you, Playboy. It ain't all about you. And that's a Leo to another Leo out there in the world. Just be aware. Be aware of the tendencies. And that's with every sign. Every sign could be negative towards other people. You just have to be aware of that energy. Okay? Moving on. We have 52 minutes. Need some water. We got Virgo. Virgo is the analytical sign, okay? Analytical, I have a Virgo moon, so I know this energy too. But very analytical, very detail-oriented people, okay? Very perfectionist type of people as well, okay? I would definitely say that you could definitely count on a Virgo too, especially to take care of the dirty work in the business when it comes to working, when it comes to Virgos are like more of like behind the scenes type of sign. They'll prefer to be behind the scenes doing that detailed work, right? And that's somebody you can have on your team. They gonna make sure all that shit right, everything right, for sure. Now the downside of Virgos can be judgmental. That's a downside. That's one downside of Virgos. You can be judgmental of other people. So if you're a Virgo, make sure you watch out for that, because that can get lethal. You know, sometimes people don't want to be judged. Sometimes people just want to be heard, okay, not judged, okay. And this is a person with a Virgo moon. So I am from Virgo moon to whatever Virgo energy you have in your chart, okay. Yeah. What else? And also, I didn't mention the cons of Aries. I don't want y'all to feel, I ain't gonna leave y'all out. Now, if people getting cons, y'all gonna get cons too. Aries can be very impulsive. Very impulsive. Nah, they'll just up and do some shit without telling you. All right, and that's for real. That's real shit. Aries gonna move off impulse. Yeah, and don't make an Aries mad too, by the way. Yeah, you know, they got some aggressive energy. They definitely have some aggressive energy about them. I think Taurus, what's a con about Taurus? Stubborn. Yeah. I told you, ain't nobody being left out. We doing cons, ain't nobody being left out. Taurus can be very stubborn, like a rock. You can't tell them shit. And that's why I said, it's just the awareness of these cons, y'all, to really heal these negative aspects. There's a yin and yang in each sign, y'all. Okay, I'm just being honest. Okay, so where were we at? We did Virgo, Libra. Okay, now Libra is the harmonizing sign. Okay, that's why they're the weight scale, the balance scale, right? Because they live in harmony. They live in balance, okay? This is why a lot of Libras will be in the justice system, okay? Because they believe in fairness, okay? And Libras also are probably the most romantic sign out of the signs. They're probably the most romantic sign out of all of them. It's Libra. Because Libra loves romantic. They love lovey-dovey shit, right? They love, okay? And the con of Libra could be people-pleasing. It's the number one con of Libras is people-pleasing, because as they're placed in the sun, right? If you're a Libra sun, it's debilitated. This is an advanced part, but it's debilitated in the sun, right? So because the sun is really more of an independent type of energy. That's why Aries is exalted in the sun, but Libra is debilitated in the sun, because Libra is more of like other people, right? Hear me out. So Libra really put their focus on their loved ones around them more than themselves. And this is where it can go bad, because you focusing on too much, and they taking the energy of all the people around them, because all of the energy and all the energy that they're expensing is going to the people, their relationships, because that is the most dominant factor in Libra, is relationships, partnerships, with whatever you're doing, depending on where this Libra energy is placed in the house. Okay, so that's a kind of Libra. And Libras can tend to be liars for real, okay, because they want to keep the peace. So their keeping the peace will turn out to be lying, because they don't want to disrupt or make somebody angry by how they actually feel. So they will lie, okay, to not cause an argument. They'll rather lie than cause an argument. So that's why they're deemed as liars, y'all. Okay, so yeah. So Scorpio is the most mysterious sign out of all signs. Okay, they're the most mysterious. They're the most, I would say, Scorpio is a deep, dark emotion. That's what I have a lot of Scorpio energy that's close to me and near to me. So it's like a dark, deep emotion type of thing. One thing a Scorpio gonna do, if they love you, it's gonna be hard to get them to open up to you. But once they do love you, they gonna be locked in forever, okay? Because they form a deep type of love bond with you. It's a deep emotion, because they're a water sign, but there's this difference between Pisces and Cancer. There is more of a deep love that's formed, and bond that's formed with Scorpios. And yes, Scorpio, we talk about sex and all of these things. They have that type of, I would say, they have like it's an energy that a real sensual energy about them, right? That they attract, but they also live through that energy as well. Now, a con of Scorpios. Now, I think one of the hardest things for Scorpios, a con, is letting go. Letting go of things. And it could be relationships, it can be people, it could be experiences, because that deep connection with that one thing is hard to really let go, because they form so much of a connection or bond with that one thing. So letting go for Scorpios is insanely hard to do. I would say that's one. And jealousy is a con of Scorpios. And I hope y'all can see me. I feel like it really got super dark up in here. I feel like it got super dark. Hold up. We had to change the ISO. I hope y'all can see me. We almost done with the planets. Okay, come on. So you got Sagittarius. Sagittarius is 9. So Sagittarius is a adventurous sign. Like, you will always, if you have Sagittarius energy, most likely you will be travel. You'll have a love of travel, or you have a love to go beyond your home area, or travel to foreign lands, right? Because Sagittarius is that type of energy. Like, Sagittarius is very if you want, I'm gonna say this, they are the most no filter sign out of all signs. If you want some real spill shit, if you one of them people that like advice from they gonna tell you exactly how it is, be friends with somebody with Sagittarius energy. Wherever in their chart, they can be moon, it can be sun, it can be Mercury. They gonna tell you exactly how it is, and they not gonna hold back. I'm telling you right now. They also Sagittarius, that energy is, most of the time they'll be optimistic, they will be open-minded, and a lot of times have a lot of wisdom, right? That ninth energy is is pervading through that Sagittarius. So most of the time, whether it's religion or spirituality, they'll be more keen to be open to these type of things. But also water signs as well. Let me not speak like Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio are tend to go into their spiritual religious roots too as well, because that intuitive, that feel and pull to spirituality is there for sure. Now the downside of Sagittarius is I would feel like Sagittarius are they could be dogmatic, right? To where I feel like a lot of Sagittarius will unwillingly or like I would say unsolicited. They will give unsolicited opinions on whatever it is, right? I feel like Sagittarius, they have so much of a no filter that sometimes they will speak on things that they're really passionate about, but you know what I'm saying? And that's because they feel strongly about it though. You know what I'm saying? They feel really strongly about this thing. So that's Sagittarius. So now we can go into Capricorn, right? So Capricorn is the house of like, Capricorns are very workaholics, okay? They're more disciplined, dedicated to their careers, dedicated to their success. Okay, so if you know somebody with a lot of Capricorn energy, most likely, and wherever they're doing, they're going to be successful in it. Because one thing about Capricorns, they gonna love their work. Even if they don't love their work, they're going to show up and they're going to work like a motherfucker. Okay, and there's a lot of money thought that goes within Capricorns. Okay, like they don't play no games. And they have like a real dry wit about them as well. Like Capricorns can be funny as hell. The Capricorn is the type of funny, they'll be funny as hell without trying. Like just by what they saying. Like they just have like a real dry humor about them that they could just be talking normally and then that shit just hilarious. But they like dead serious though. That's Capricorn for sure. Like if you want somebody on your team that's gonna grind and gonna get the job done, Capricorn is definitely a person that you'll want to have on your side for sure. They're very goal-oriented. They don't play about their goals. They gonna make sure they get every single goal done. Best believe. Now, the downside of Capricorn is just that. They can be workaholics, right? They can overwork themselves. That's one thing about Capricorn. They can excessively work themselves to the point of no end. Okay? They definitely can get lost into that for real. You get lost into career, get lost into their goals to where they not thinking about anything else. Okay, so definitely make sure that you give yourself a good work-life balance, Capricorns. Okay, make sure you it's okay to take a break. It's okay to take a breather. Smell the roses. Go outside and take in the beautiful life that is around you. Okay, Capricorns. You got Aquarius, right? I love Aquarius. First of all, Aquarius is one of my favorite signs. It's actually my rising sign in Western astrology. I'm an Aquarius rising in Western, and I'm a Libra moon in Western, right? But in Vedic, I'm a Capricorn rising, and I'm a Virgo moon in Vedic. So it's Earth and air swapped. But I love Aquarius though. Aquarius is one of my favorite signs because Aquariuses are very unique. They're very innovative. Aquarius people are the people that come in a game and completely shift shit, like to a whole different pattern and paradigm. I think Michael Jordan is an Aquarius, if I'm not mistaken. And I remember, I think in Vedic astrology, Kanye has a Aquarius moon, if I'm not mistaken. But besides all the things that Kanye West is doing, okay, we're speaking just purely astrologically. But Aquarius is very innovative, unique, and humanitarian as well. So like I said, Aquarius are big on making global changes, regardless of what it is. Either if it's style, fashion, YouTubing, streaming or whatever, because they think so uniquely. There is not, like, Aquarius are so unique that nobody will probably think about some shit that Aquarius would think about. They will bring a whole new perspective to whatever game they're in. That's why I love Aquarius. Like, Aquarius are super dope. That's one energy that I will keep from Western astrology. I'll be like, you know what? I'm a Aquarius rising in tropical astrology. I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna make sure I'm not going completely let go of that one. But yeah, so Aquarius is crazy. Aquarius is definitely a great sign, but the cons of Aquarius as well, it could be detachment. Okay, Aquarius can be emotionally detached. Okay, so Aquarius, I love y'all, but you have some serious detachment things going on. Especially when it comes to emotional. Okay, that's why in relationships, okay, you got to work on that, Aquarius. Work on that detachment. Okay, you know, your partner needs some emotional availability. You can't just dip out on them. All right. Now the last sign is the 12. Number 12 is Pisces. Pisces is very intuitive, very like watery. I think all water signs, the thing about probably especially Pisces too, they love water. They're very connected to water because the energy of water is flowy. It's very, if you want to talk about free spirit, Pisces, man. Pisces energy is very, probably the most free spirit energy that I know. Like, they're very, like, it's not a such thing as, dreamy as well. Dreamy. That's one quality about Pisces. Their fantasy world, their dream world, which could be a con as well. And I'm going to go into their con, but they are dreamy. Like, even if you see in appearance, probably like a Pisces rising, their energy is probably very dreamy, very, what I want to say, it's a word, ethereal, I want to say as well, right? But see, the con of Pisces could be escapism, okay? To all my Pisces out there, you have to ground yourself. A lot of times Pisces can get too lost up there. Maybe all up there. Ooh, right? They up there, but sometimes to all my Pisces, you got to come down to earth, okay? You got to come down. All right? Ground yourself. Because that escapism can be a con, whether if it's use of drugs, it can even be like, I think, see, it's a crazy thing. Ram Dass in Vedic was a Pisces, right? And this is one quick thing that I want to talk about. And he had told him that he was close with Alan Watts. And Alan Watts said, you spend so much time in the spiritual world when you're meant to be a human and experience what it's meant to be human. Yes, it's beautiful to engage to your essence of who you are, but also you're here to have a human experience. And I feel like from a Pisces energy, he fell in love with the energy of being able to escape, to get within his spiritual essence, to feel the oneness with God, right, all the time. Yes, it's beautiful. That's a feeling that we all want to feel and need to feel, but also as our soul, we are here to actually experience this human experience as well. So we didn't come here to be just to go back with source and be with source the whole time. It's something to discover within yourself, to know yourself, right? But also you are here to be a human as well. And I feel like that is very Pisces, okay? So you can get lost up in there and get lost into addictions and drugs because you want to escape from reality, okay? But you have to come back to reality, Pisces, and really, really ground yourself, okay? And be here, all right? Okay. So that's the signs, y'all. That's the sign energy. That's just basics. I had to turn up the ISO again, y'all. I feel like it was really getting dark. Maybe I can change that. It might be a lot of different lighting changes in the podcast, so excuse that, y'all. Just take in the wisdom, take in the lessons. All right, that's the whole point of it. Okay, we still working. All right. So now we will be getting to. I promise I won't make this that long, y'all. I promise I won't make this that long. So we're going to get to this section, and I'm gonna talk about one thing, and then we're gonna close it out. I want to explain houses. Okay, this is a must. I want to explain houses. Okay, so I will draw the Vedic chart on my whiteboard right here for y'all can understand how to look at it yourself. Okay, so when you go and do the research, you can know how to read your chart. Well, I would say basics of how to read your chart. Okay, I'm going through a little astrology 101 right here. This is astrology 101. I hope y'all can see this well. Okay, I just want to show y'all the Vedic chart. Okay, so y'all can understand it and go back and do the research and be able to start off basic. So this is the Vedic natal chart. This is how it is, right? So what you're going to see is we're going to do this. Hope you can see that. You can see that square. I hope y'all can see that square. So we're going to go like this. Down that way. And what we're going to do is we are going to do a diamond. Oh shit. That's still the point. It's a little squiggly, but still the point, right? We want to do this right here. There you go, to still separate. Make sure these are separated. There we go. Okay, so now, if you can see this perfectly, hopefully that you can. So with the Vedic chart right here, it starts right here. So this will be the first house right here. Okay, this is the first house. Boom. Then you go 2, you go right there. 3 right here. This is 4. This is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11th house. This is the 12th house. Okay, so we go first house, second house, third house, fourth house, fifth house, sixth house, seventh house, eighth house, ninth house, 10th house, 11th house, 12th house, right? And it goes in this direction. Okay, that's the way that it's going. I hope y'all can see this clearly. So if you're looking at your Vedic birth chart, you might see numbers. Okay, you might see numbers in each chart. That is not the number of the houses. So just say if I was to put 5, if you was to see a small number 5 that looked like a S, 5 right here in the first house, this is indicating what the sign is. Okay, this is indicating what the sign is in the first house, what your rising sign will be. So if you see 5, remember the numbers that I told you early in this podcast, that this is Leo. The number 5 indicates Leo. So you have a Leo rising in the first house, okay? Your first house is always going to be what your rising sign is, okay? So even right here, just say the 8th house right here. Just say if you see number 12, right? Little small number 12. That means you has a Pisces. Oh shit. We can't hold up. But this indicating that Pisces is in the 8th house. But also you will see, just say, let's say if you have another planet in the first house. Let's not skip this real quick. But just say you have Mercury. You're gonna see ME. That means you have Mercury in the first house. So the number in the first house is going to indicate your ascendant. And if you have another planet falling in the first house, that will mean that you will have Mercury in the first house. Okay, so that's going to indicate a lot, right? But you have to understand what that means for these things to fall in the first house. And we shall go over that too after this, of the meaning of each house. then we're going to finish up this podcast. But just for other definitions, I mean, you can put stuff whatever, just whatever. You can put sun right here. It'll probably be SU in the 7th house. Okay, so that means your sun. This would mean that your sun is in the 7th house. Okay, but if it's Libra, well, shit, that's in the house of Libra actually already. So we shouldn't do that. We need to do another. We need to do another one. We're gonna put moon. We're gonna put moon. We're gonna put MO. MO is in the 7th house, right? So we can do. Let's see if you had like a Taurus moon in the 7th house. So it's gonna show a small number of 2, right? So that means if you're not gonna be able to see that probably, but that small number will indicate the sign, not the number of the house, but the sign. If you understand what I'm saying, so that means you will have a Taurus moon in the 7th house. Okay. So that would be something to understand. Okay. So I just want to show y'all what the chart would look like and to understand the order of the houses, because the numbers sometimes will distract you and to mess up your thought pattern of where the houses actually are. But remember, the house goes from this way: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? So the smaller numbers are the signs. If you go back and look at the numbers that I told you with Aries, starting from Aries all the way to Pisces, those numbers are fixed. Therefore, if you see one, a small 1 in the house, let's say in the 6th house, it'll probably be at the top is 1. That means your Aries, whatever placement that you have, you can put Venus. Your Aries Venus will be in the 6th house, right? Which will be 1. So this is just to tell you how to read your chart. You'll have to watch it over and over again to understand, practice. Yeah. Okay, so after I showed you guys how to read your Vedic chart, okay, you have to understand the houses. And now we pushing an hour and 30. We pushing an hour 30, so I apologize, y'all. I hope y'all are still here. But each house has a meaning. This is another layer of astrology to understand. Each house has a meaning. So that's why I say it's deeper than just your signs, people. Wherever your signs are in this house, in these houses, indicate something, okay? The house is, shout out to Simon. He this description of this is perfect. So the houses are like the stage, okay? And the signs are like the characters, that playing in the play, right? But the house is the stage. So that stage has meaning. And if you understand each sign, everything else becomes easier. You start understanding energy better just in astrology in general. It helps you. So like we can go over this real quick. Like first house, it's basically yourself, right? This is where you're rising. This is the time. This is where you was born. So it's any planets or whatever that is in your first house will be geared towards yourself. Okay? Things that will be expressed within yourself, your body and your head. I'm not going to say body, but your head. If we're talking about, other like Ayurvedic astrology or whatever. But it's more of yourself. So if you have a lot of energy, a lot of planets in your first house, most likely it will be geared towards you, yourself, your experiences, okay? This is all about you. Okay, now second house is all about pleasure, speech, your family, because the first house is you. Your second house is who nourishes you outside of yourself, which is would be your intermediate family, right? Uh, so that's a good place to look at your family. It's also about pleasure. It's all about nourishment, food, richness, which sounds like Taurus. Remember these numbers. One, Aries. Aries is the energy. It's kind of like independent energy. It sounds just like the first house. Second house sounds like Taurus energy. Okay, now we go into third. What is Gemini? These are just examples to remember. It's about communication, right? Mercury's about communication. Okay, so third house is really geared toward media, towards communication as well. How you express, how you what you're engaging in terms of speech, right? Your voice, right? Which is kind of like number 2 as well, but 3 is more catered to, I think, also siblings as well. Hold on. Yeah, but your fourth house is like the Cancer of the energy of Cancer, right? It's the mother. So a lot of times you want to know what your relationship is like with your mother. You look at the fourth house. What is placed in the fourth house? Okay, it's a. Do you have any placements in the fourth house? This will show what your relationship with your mother would be like. Okay, and just what home would be like. It's the house of home. A lot to do with just the nurturing side of things. I would just basically say it's the mother, home, your home that you was birthed into, all of these things, like anything considering home. Okay, that is really like the fourth house. Okay, that's really fourth house energy. It's just like Cancer energy. Okay, fifth house is just like Leo energy, because Leo is number 5 on the Zodiac chart. Okay, so that's going to do a lot with intellect, okay, fun, children, okay, expression. Sixth house, Virgo. Remember, so sixth house energy. So you have placements in your sixth house energy. Sixth house energy is all about stability, daily habits, service. Okay, this is considered not the best houses in the houses of all houses, right? I have 2 placements. My Venus and Mars is in the 6th house. And that's the house of service, daily habits, which is my Gemini, Venus, and Mars. Okay. 7th house is the house of Libra. Okay. Okay. Like this is the ruler of the 7th house is Libra. So it's like the energy. This is where you will want to look at to what your relationships will be like. Okay. What energy would you have with partnerships and whatever, even if it comes with just networking and even with just like co-worker relationships? That is the place to look at, especially when it comes to marriage. Okay. 8th house is a transformation house. It's all about transformation. It's all about death, not in a bad way. And I'm saying death in a way of being reborn. Okay. Sex. A lot of people consider this as a loss of finances, right? So it's like, it's one of them tough houses, right? I wouldn't just necessarily say loss of finances, but people consider that this is a challenging house for sure. Now, ninth is one of the good houses. I keep saying, I don't know why I'm about to say podcast, but ninth is considered a great house because it's considered like the guru house, right? It's more geared towards higher learning, spirituality, religion, just people who if you have a lot of energy placed in the ninth house, you're more likely are going to be a spiritual guy, spiritual teacher, counselor. You're going to be super deep into religion, whether it's being a preacher or being some type of teacher of spiritual and religious teachings, right? This is the place of high learning. And I have placements in the ninth house. Now look what I'm doing, right? Look what I'm talking about. My Leo's in the 8th house. right? We're talking about astrology, hidden things, esoteric things. It's all in my chart. 10th house is the Capricorn, is where you to look at for career, what your career will look like. So look at the placements in your 10th house to see where you will be. If you have a lot of energy in your 10th house, most likely you will be very successful in what you're doing. You know, it would be more easy for success to come to you. I would say the 11th house is the house of friendships, humanitarianism, of course. So like if you have a lot of placement in Aquarius, you will be connected to a lot of friends. Okay. This is like the networking house. Okay. Aquarius is about global. Okay. Global reach. All right. 12th house is the end. That's what they call, or the house of loss. Okay. And not in the bad way though. Not in a super bad way, but in the terms of growth. Okay. Like the 12th house is, I would say, like the higher realm, because this is the end of the cycle. Okay. This is the end of the cycle in terms of astrology. So it is a very spiritual house as well. Okay. And those are the houses, people. So make sure you go look at your chart, do the research on your chart. Look and see what signs are in each house to understand what energy is being expressed through these houses, okay? And I promise you that you will get some clarity. You'll be like, damn, this shit makes sense, okay? And it's not lying to you. This shit ain't lying to you. I'm gonna tell you one thing, it's not lying to you. Let's take a little break here. Hold up. We got one more segment, bro, and then we gonna close this out. Yeah, so I want to say that the reason why I want to have this podcast, I know this is a long one, guys, but everything that you look at in terms of these blueprints of your life, whether it's Vedic, tropical, numerology, okay, you will realize all of these things make sense, right? Because everywhere, even palm reading, every single thing, everywhere that you look, and this is why I said the importance of as above, so below, as within, so without. Everywhere you look, you will find that truth in everything that you're looking at. And so this is a tool to look at, to understand, to see what your karma is, what your destiny is, what your purpose is. You can look at your palm and know what your purpose is. And I guarantee you it will say the same type of shit your birth chart would say. I guarantee you. You can look at your life path chart, your numerology chart, and still find the same type of truth in that chart as well. Like I noticed that there is a certain frequency through all of my charts that is telling me that I'm here to do what I'm doing right now. Everywhere I look, the messages are everywhere. And if you're still tuned in to this podcast, I truly appreciate you and grateful. And I know that you are a real astrology nerd if you made it this far. So I want to end. I wouldn't want to say end, but I definitely want to give examples of celebrities real quick before we go. And I want to say this, that in Vedic astrology, it made me see people energies very differently as well. Like I can bring some, and I'm a majority speak of Leos because I'm a Leo, so I can see a lot of Leo energy in them. So in the terms of Leos, I can name a few that are Virgos in tropical astrology, but god damn, the Leo energy is very present in their expression. The number one Leo that I'm going to mention first is Michael Jackson. Okay? Michael Jackson is a Virgo in tropical astrology, but a Leo in Vedic. When you look at this man, okay, he demanded attention when he walked in the room. He was a part of a group. He stood out even when he was a kid. All the attention was on him, right? Because Leos have this certain type of magnetism and attraction to them when it comes to performance, when it comes to, I would say, charisma, when it comes to just attraction. Like I already said it, but it's something about Leos that they attract that type of spotlight, right? So he instantly, everybody knew that Michael Jackson was the one. He was the one who was going to go solo, right? But I mean, just look at the way he dressed, the way he performed. He was like, his expression, like he yelled, like, I'm not gonna do it, but the yee-hee, like, that's funny, but yee-hee, woo, like the energy of that. Leos have a strong boldness to them, even with their expression of like energy, right? There's a lot of like that fire, like you feel that shit. You feel that fire within them, right? And Michael Jackson, he permeated that fire energy. And this is the number two person, right? Number two Leo, Beyonce, right? Beyonce is a Leo, is a Vedic Leo sun, right? You look at Beyonce. Beyonce is like the female Michael Jackson, really. And I'm not going to put her exactly on Michael Jackson level, but when it comes to women, okay, when it comes to somebody who is in the same category as Michael Jackson, okay, you see Beyonce, if somebody seen Beyonce on the street, they'll probably pass out. Okay, now Michael Jackson effect on humans was more at a more grander scale, but Beyonce is up there. Like that is our new age. She's like our new age Michael Jackson, really. If you think about it, just in terms of, she still keeps a sense of, what's the word I want to say? I can't think of the word, but you don't know what's going on with her until she performs or until she pops out. You know, she still have this mysterious thing that people used to do back in the day, where you didn't really know much about them until you saw them on screen. So Beyonce is definitely, I mean, look at her. She was in Destiny Child. You can look at her energy and know that she was like, I'm the number one person. And that's the thing Leos be doing. Like, Leos will want the spotlight. Like I said, they want the attention. And you can tell Beyonce, she stood out in front of, more than, I'm not going to say more, but like you can tell like she was going to go solo. Leos tend to always be more, want to do things their way and on their own way, and in a bigger, like grander scale way, right? So Beyonce is a Leo in Vedic. Right now, look, all these, look. Kobe Bryant is a Leo in Vedic astrology. You know what I'm saying? Leader, okay? He was the person, this is my team. Y'all follow around me. Leos tend to be leaders. Kobe made sure y'all listen to me. I run this team, not y'all. Okay? That's Leo energy. He was very polarizing too. Leos are known to be very polarizing too, because people felt like he was cocky. People felt like he was just too much into himself, which Leos get a lot of flack of. Okay? But he also got Virgo in his chart as well, so that Virgo is still placed there. And I'm pretty sure, I think Beyonce do as well. That's the thing about astrology. We pushing on an hour and 37 minutes. Damn. Okay, we getting up there, y'all. I'm sorry. Who else I want to mention that's a Leo? The last Leo I want to mention is Keke Palmer. Okay? And I have to say this because when I see Keke Palmer, Everybody loves, and that's one thing about Leo. Leo always going to be, especially with popularity, are known to be very popular and well renowned. And I mean, look at the three people that I'm naming, right? Keke Palmer, now she has reached a stage to where she is world renowned. Everybody loves Keke Palmer. Everybody loves her personality. Keke Palmer has a big, grand personality, right? You can see her smile radiating through the screen, her energy radiating, like even just with her, the way she speaks, the way her vernacular is very like that one. What's that one thing that Keke Palmer did? It's your girl. Like just the whole dramatics. That's another thing too with Leos. Speaking from a Leo, dramatic, very dramatic. That's why Leos can be great actors. Okay. Leos can be great performers because they are already naturally dramatic. And I mean, Keke Palmer, her charisma and her energy is so magnetic. Like, that's why I feel like now as a whole, people love Keke Palmer because she gives like this auntie type of energy, like this loving type of energy, this happy type of energy. You come in and she's smiling and you feel that big, strong personality from Keke Palmer, right? Only a Leo can give you that. Virgos are more reserved. Virgos can be more behind the scenes, like I said earlier, instead of in front of the scenes, and want attention and want to be the spotlight, right? Virgos won't necessarily be the person be like, yeah, I want to be the main person. I want to be the number one person. I want to be the solo artist. Virgos will be like, I'm cool. Like, I just love the game. And that's in an example. My last example would be probably like Kevin Durant, right? Kevin Durant is a Vedic Virgo. And if you look at that, he loved what he do. He loved the game of basketball. Can Kevin Durant be a leader? No, that's not his position. That's not his energy. He's not the leader type of archetype. He's not going to be the Kobe Bryant to say, this is my team, y'all follow my lead. Kevin Durant just want to hoop. He loved the game of basketball. And that's it. He don't have to lead. He just want to go out there and put up 30 on your head top and go home and do it again. Okay? So these are just a few examples of what I'm saying, the sign switch. So I'm going to end this podcast here because we at 1 hour and 40. I really hope y'all took something from this podcast. If y'all have any questions, okay, you can ask me in the comments. I know this is a very, very deep, in-depth breakdown of astrology and my perspective on Vedic astrology, okay? And I know for a lot of people, this is going to be a new perspective on life and astrology, okay? And like I said, have an open mind. Okay, ask questions, research. And this is for all my spiritual people too, because spiritual people be cutting the shit off too. Have an open mind. Go do your research on each of these systems and really go within and see what resonates with you. Don't block it. But go within. See what energy feel right within you. Okay, then go from there. And I would say, I really enjoyed explaining this to y'all. I really hope y'all really took something from this. We are all walking back into the eternal light. Make sure you go within. Make sure you start understanding this astrology, people, because there's so many answers, so many paths that you can learn that can help you in your life journey by understanding astrology. Okay, this could be a big game changer for you. Okay, astrology can show you where you came from and where you going from in this lifetime, what you should be focusing on now. Okay, and I promise you, it's going to help you. So make sure y'all keep being open-minded, curious. Okay, learning. Then make sure. Oh, don't forget. After 1 hour and 42 minutes. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all better subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on them notifications. This is 1 hour and 43 worth of information right here. Okay? I love y'all. Make sure y'all have a wonderful, amazing, abundant week. I'm going to see y'all next time. We out.